up, guys, and welcome to the VisualWood podcast, episode number 70.
70 podcasts.
70 podcasts of an hour or more. That's a lot of hours, man.
That is. Can you imagine someone marathoning it from now? Like the whole damn thing.
Whoa.
Oh, do you know what you can do on YouTube? You've got the full playlist, right? Set up with all the pods on it.
Yeah, I do.
If you browse to the playlist, don't you get to see
the
total
hours? Yeah.
Because I remember that from my old GW1 LPs, and I'd be like, oh, look at all these hours. This is amazing. Wait, I can't find it. Where's the podcast?
The pod. It's going to be I'm going to go to my channel and actually...
6 more. It's one of the hidden ones. Oh, no.
So 69 podcasts.
Videos.
And, it's not saying anything.
Oh, what the hell? Can you go like edit and it has like total runtime or whatever?
No, it's not saying anything.
Oh, what?
Yeah, it's not saying anything.
We'd have to manually add it all up. That sucks, man. Oh,
It's a lot. It's going to be 70 times 1.5 probably.
Easily. Like, I think our average is still well over an hour.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, it's definitely. Most of these are like 2 hours or 1 hour 30 at least.
So anyway. 70 times 1.5, carry the 2, carry the 1, probably around over 100.
Yeah,
and
about
5.
100. Yeah, somewhere around there. 105 hours. Is that a full? Wait, how many hours are there in a week? It's 24 a day, so 24. Wow, this is the maths podcast, guys.
Oh gosh.
24 times 7. Okay, 168 hours in a week. All right, so soon-ish. Like, by the end of summer or something, we probably will have enough podcast content to last someone a week solid. Like, nothing but our voices talking about GW2 games and movies.
That will probably make someone go insane.
Can you imagine that? It reminds me of when I, like, marathoned the old Pokemons, like the first 2 series kind of thing. When I finished doing that, and I was, like, full on... This was years ago now, but I was full on ham, like, doing nothing but watching those. When I finally stopped, like, I was like hearing Ash's voice in my head, and I was like hearing, like, just because you're so absorbed into it. It's like when you read a book, like I do this as well. If I like get super into a book series and I read it all, and that's my entire existence, as I just think, I like narrate in my head, like I read it in the same way that like books.
Did you start dreaming about him and waking up in cold sweats
yeah.
and be like, gotta catch them all? Oh my gosh,
dude! But people would have that with us. That would be a crazy experiment. Someone do that. Literally, do nothing but listen to us. Every waking moment you're awake, please. The podcast. Episode 1. And then when you get here to episode 70, by the time... You have to do it before episode 71 comes out. And then report back in the comment section. And we'll pick the best comment.
Right. People would know a lot about us. Like, if you watch it from beginning to end, we share a lot of, like, stuff that people don't realize. Because people are constantly coming and going from the series. So it's for the people who actually watch from the beginning to the end on every podcast.
And they get like refreshed on all of it. Yeah, they would. That's crazy to think about. I also think though, if you marathoned it like that, you'd be like full on zombie mode, like through like the 40s through to the 60s, you'd just be like, and then when you get like late 60s, you're like, oh my god, it's the 50 Shades episode, we're almost there. And then you'd probably start paying attention again.
Right.
That's crazy though. I'm proud of that. Don't you get proud when you look at YouTube and you see like all your playlists set up and you're like, yeah, look at all this stuff I've worked on. Like, it's cool.
It's like a collection. I kind of like it. It's like,
right. It is. It's a collection. It's a collection you create for yourself. Like what I do when I finish my Let's Plays or any playlist finishes, I like tag it with this like complete thing so that people on the channel, they can see, oh, this Let's Play is finished. This Let's Play isn't finished. As I have a little bit of a thing where sometimes Let's Plays go on hiatus, and so like I love putting those completed tags on. I'm like, yeah, collection finished, baby, and then it's like all excited, like making the next one. It's a good website.
So,
yeah. How are you doing today?
What's been going on this week? You been straight?
Have I been straight? What does that mean?
Oh gosh, we're going deep already. We're going deep already in this podcast, and we're already past 69, dude. We can go into mature land again. You know?
Okay, yeah, it's not 69. We're all above board. Yeah, I've been good. It's been a good week. We're recording a little bit earlier in the week this week, so it feels like we were sort of recording pretty recently. But yeah, like not too much has happened. There's not been that much GW2 news come out. But I do have a few topics for you. I don't know whether you've... I know that... So a blog post came out today. Did you want to talk about that a little bit? And how there's not really very much to say about it.
Then why even talk about it? I don't understand.
Well, I find it interesting that... I don't know. Do you feel like they're maybe a little bit starved of news at the moment? Because there's clearly so many other things they can talk about, and then yet they put out basically a post that's just trying to catch people up with the story. I don't know. Because the game's in a weird place where people can't play Season 1, right? And a lot of people who come in as well, they're faced with something of a paywall, at the very least. Like, even if you can buy it in-game and stuff with gems, and maybe it's not even that expensive, but they are to play Season 2, so... It just seems like a bit of a non-article they put out today. For anyone out of the loop, they did like an article talking about sort of just recapping the story. And aside from that, there's not really been much official come out, has there? There was a thing about the personal story restoration. Did you catch this?
Yeah, by Bobby. Yeah.
Well, I'll keep it short. The Feature Pack 2, was it? I think it was Feature Pack 2. They decided to cut out a whole bunch of personal story late in the game, and then they like chopped and changed and moved steps around. So you were doing like the later stuff early, and it was just all weird. And then they introduced this mechanic where there was a submarine. For what it's worth, I never actually played this. I never went through that story. I never actually did it. I did a little bit on my Thief, but he'd already finished a whole bunch of stuff. So, but what they did was they made it so that submarine bay in Fort Trinity, you could then ride the submarine and it would take you really deep into ore randomly early, so that you could do later personal story quests that were supposed to... anyway, it was all just messed up. But they're talking about now how, because the expansion's coming out, and because they brought back, like, the character voice artists, so that, you know, like, the people for the male Norn are back and so forth. Apparently, the steps that they cut out, it seems, they cut out because there were dialogue issues or something, like if you were playing on a certain combo. So they are now coming back into the game, basically, and they're fixing the personal story, and it's going back to the way it should be. Which is cool, and they say that they're making improvements too, but I don't know how great of improvements they're going to be.
How deep it goes. Like, are they going to remaster the story? That would be quite interesting.
That would be crazy, right? Like, you still have, like, the generally mediocre Guild Wars 2 story, like, throughout the whole personal story, but then this one random arc, like... the Greatest Fear arc, it's sort of near the middle of the story, late middle. All of a sudden, it becomes like this mind-blowing, whoa, there's tons of cutscenes, and there's all these NPCs, and I really care about them, and there's tons of dialogue, and the choices are already... That'd be, like, insane. It's like, oh, awesome. This is all totally new. You know, like, they get rid of the side-by-side character dialogue thing. Yeah, they said they were, like, tweaking camera things and stuff, but yeah.
It's weird. Like, MMOs get, obviously, better as they progress, you know, hopefully if they're getting funded properly by the audience. But once it'll be cool, like 5 years from now, if Guild Wars 2 is a lot bigger and, you know, it's sustainable. Not to say it's not sustainable now, but it's a lot bigger than it is now. Obviously, you want to grow as a business. I wonder how cool it would be for someone getting into the game then, like having everything remastered, all the UI twerks, quality of life stuff, everything, just stuck in there. And imagine the experience of that. That's quite interesting. Yeah, it's like people going into WoW right now when they like redid everything, like the old areas and stuff like that.
If you think about the game at launch, like I really do think there was a lot of problems with it. You know, like. The really classic one that I think of is how much the game changed when champ bags became a thing. Like, I really, really, really remember one of my biggest, like, early... I was disappointed about so many things. I was constantly thinking, oh, this could be better in this way, this could be better in this way, this could be better in this way. But one of the things that really disappointed me was that there was no incentive to kill champions, for example. And, like, you look at so many little things like that have now changed with the game that have improved. Yeah, you're right. Like, and then what? Another... are you saying 5 years from now or 5 years from launch?
5 years from launch.
Okay, so then what? Like another 2.5 years after now, how much even better all of that stuff should be. Like, the one thing, though, I would say, like, that's going to be a great experience for people. Mechanically, the game's going to be really solid and knows where it wants to be. But the one thing I will say that, seriously, I think the biggest thing that's holding it back now is the personal story. Like, it's just so low quality. Like, I've always been in love with the universe and the story of Guild Wars 2. But just Guild Wars.
Guild Wars, yeah.
Yeah, but the story is all, and this was a problem in the first game too. I feel like the personal story is so weak. A lot of people that would otherwise also get into it, are just not, because the main thing they see to interact with the story is the personal story right out of the gate, and it's just so poorly done, you know? Like, so I would love to see a big remaster to the personal story, because everything else is getting better and better and better, and that's just, like, gonna lag behind, you know? Like, and if they want people to be excited about Heart of Thorns, the story in Heart of Thorns, and if they want people to be excited about the Living World stories, especially when they miss arcs and stuff, like, the one core thing that is always going to be there with the base game is the base personal story, and that needs to be really, really solid. That needs to be of the same quality of the stuff they're putting out now. So I hope they do go back, but I you know, they say stuff like, oh, we don't want to remaster content, you know, people aren't interested in remastered content so much, so I think our chances of having that change are really, really, really slim, even though to me it's one of the most important things. I think it's slowly becoming, as time goes by, more and more and more important for them to do, you know.
Yeah.
Would you care much about that, or would you just be like, personal story sucks, I don't need it to get better?
I would probably want it to get better so I can refresh my memory on it. Because see, the thing is, I usually get like, Guild Wars 2 is such a weird thing for me, because
right,
usually I get into the games, I get into the lore, I understand the story and everything like that, but it seems like Guild Wars 2, I like it for a different reason and not because of the lore. I like,
right, yeah.
I don't care that much. You know, I care about the lore now than I did before, but like before, like in personal story, I just like, I know the basic major points, and then that's pretty much it. I didn't want to dive deeper because it didn't make me want to dive deeper.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and even when I would like try to learn more about like the personal story and everything, I just forget about it because it just doesn't grab me.
Yeah, you know?
It's so easy to just be like, put it in the back of your mind.
Yeah, the worst thing as well, I think, with Guild Wars 2 is, in other MMOs, it's just not the main story isn't the only thing that it relies on to tell the plot. But in Guild Wars 2, it absolutely is. Like, if you look at the base game, like, okay, if you're not really digging the personal story, where else do you get lore from? None of the NPCs really say very much. You barely get anything from, like, doing map completion. Their entire heart system is basically, hey, here's quests, except you don't need any walls of text or dialogue. No one sends you mails of any consequence. There's, like, nothing. And the dungeon stories are really pushed off to the side. A lot of people finish the whole damn personal story without even realizing dungeons are a thing, which I don't know how that's possible, to be honest. And those stories are kind of minor anyway, or just as poorly done as the personal story. Like, there's nothing. There really isn't. And that's what sucks, like... Other games, like, yeah, you might not be into the main story, but at least you've got these cool quests that you can do. And
you know about the world. You know about the atmosphere. You know what's going on at least, you know.
Yeah. You know, like, I'm playing FF12, I told you in a previous podcast. That game's awesome. Every enemy you kill, there's, like, this insane, awesome base tree, right? And you can open it up, and it tells you all kinds of information about the different enemies you've killed. And it, like, just... It is so detailed, so in depth. You hear all this tertiary information about the regions that these enemies are found in, the history of the areas, like tons of stuff. Like, I found a random enemy I killed and ended up reading this massive long journal about some guy who essentially created the race, it seemed like. And then we alluded to some monster that I realized was going to be a big boss later on in the game. Like, that's awesome. We have no history. We have no lore books. We have none of that stuff. And that's what really sucks. So there's so much weight on the personal story, and then it too falls short. That's what's always really disappointed me about the game, because the universe is awesome, you know.
You know, and I agree with you, because when I do like noob lore or any type of lore series that you've seen me done, it's like mind blowing. It's just like, whoa, this is Flame and Frost. Oh
yeah, right. Yeah.
Oh, this is like the story of like the Quaggins were the script, like, I was like, oh, okay, this is interesting. Like, a lot of stuff is interesting, but it's not explained in game, and I don't know. I feel like they don't do a good job in game when it comes down to story.
They don't.
Yeah,
they don't.
You know, you would think you would learn more about the story during the questing instead of these hearts, which have, like, you know, a one full page of dialogue, basically, you know, spread out throughout the whole event.
Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah. You know, for most players, it's run up. All they care about is the progress bar on the heart, and then they just press F. Mail comes in, instant delete, move on.
Yeah.
You know, that's it. Or not a male anymore. You get the little heart icon down in the bottom right-hand corner, and they just grab it for the reward and they go. And, like, I can kind of understand what ArenaNet did. Like, they were like, well, look, so people don't like walls of text anyway. They're just going to skip it anyway. Why don't we make this easier for them? Like, why don't we repackage it and talk about it like it's some big new innovative thing almost, you know? And I kind of understand that perspective, but I feel like if you put it in people's faces... I mean, I tried so hard. Do you know how hard I tried when Guild Wars 2 came out to read every single one of those mails and to speak to every single heart NPC before I finished the heart so I could actually get their initial dialogue? I tried so hard, but it took me 4, 5 maps? And I kept doing it, but it took me 4 or 5 maps to realize, oh, it's the same dialogue. It's the same thing every time. This is a generic thank you message. Generic thank you message.
Yeah, it sucks, right?
Yeah,
I would like to follow the events because I thought there were more than just dynamic events, you know, and I would like to do videos on them, and that was one of my ideas back at launch, and then I started to realize that, you know, some of them were funny and some of them whatever, but most of them were just like the same thing, and it wasn't that interesting, and there wasn't little pieces that you could find around the map that tells more about the, you know, the Harathi hinterlands shaman guy. Like there's none of that, you know, there's none of that juicy bits. And so you just kind of put it in the back of, I put it back in my mind. It's just like, oh, okay, yeah.
My whole thing has been like, as a writer, okay, as the writers that were there, if you're bored writing it, which clearly they got bored writing that stuff, okay, then your players are going to get bored reading it, and it shouldn't be in the game. Like, they should have seen that there was an issue with the mail thing, when the poor soul that was told to write all of those out, or the poor team that was told to write all of those out, kind of realized, hey, this is really, what does this add at this point? You know, like, it's just...
They probably got stuck in a room for about a whole day, and they wrote out everything.
It's so sad, man.
Just like they did with the living story for season 1.
Oh, God. Well, hey, look, at least with Heart of Thorns, hearts aren't even there anymore. They are, like, changing things, right? Hearts aren't, I guess they appreciate that this wasn't great. And then the whole outpost thing, the whole idea of outposts is that you get these juicy lore bits from just playing the game, and the dynamic events do tell more of a story, and they use the same characters a lot, so like you learn that, and hopefully we get that experience back, and hopefully that they can actually start telling story with dynamic events in the open world. But I still think, you know, give us base trees, give us I hate just rattling out features that I want, but I really want them. You got me talking about story and where I feel like it's lacking, Matt, and that's not a good thing. I could talk about
you could probably take the whole podcast. Yeah, it's about lore and stuff like that. Anyways, what else have you been doing? Have you been playing any games? Have you been
I was gonna ask you before that when you saw, because I thought you'd be excited about this, the data mine post.
The bug about the SAB. That's the only thing you could possibly bring to me. Like, you're excited. You got to be excited about this SAB.
Yeah, right.
It's a bug. I
want to see it.
I want to see it out, dude. It's weird when you're a fan of SAB, right? Some guys, I know some guys out there. You know, we're fans of SAB. We want it to come out. We look on the forum posts and stuff like that. Like, oh, it might be coming. Oh, it's coming, just not now. Blah blah. It's just so depressing and tiring to just look up any little information about it. Like, I just rather it just come out and not hear anything about it. I don't care anymore. It's like you wait too long for these things, you know? At least we haven't got to this point in Guild Wars 2 where there was no expansion announced. Like, if you're right here recording this podcast and there was no expansion announced, I don't know, man. You know, it's that type of feeling, you know?
Really? Well, it's kind of weird, though, to think about. It's only been, what, like a month and a half or something since the announcement? Am I wrong? Am I exaggerating there?
Oh, no. I'm talking about that. I said that's the way I feel about SAB.
Oh,
I say imagine that feeling of right now and how would you feel about Guild Wars 2 if an expansion was not announced? You would feel kind of be like, man, there's all these features that were, of course, announced in HOT that are not coming out. The scavenger hunt, all those things. Can you imagine how, like, the community would feel? Like, the community was already about to go crazy. But
it already did go crazy.
They already did go crazy multiple times, and it was getting really, really bad. And it makes me think that's probably why they rushed. Like they might have rushed out the announcement because the community was just going nuts, and they might have lost a lot of people. Well, they already lost a lot of people.
Do you think PAX South was a rush?
Not a rush. I mean, like, you remember that big old accident last year? You know, like there was multiple of them where the community was just getting really restless and people were acting nasty.
Right? The anniversary.
Yeah, and maybe they were like, you know what, we probably need to do something. You know, because expansion was announced and all these features about the guild halls and a lot of major features have not been touched on, especially the specializations. And all we have is just like a little demo. They either could be, you know, classic ANET, we don't want to spoil everybody, or a lot of that stuff is just not
done.
Like not done in the sense of
properly planned, yeah.
Yeah, like it's probably like 50% of the way, other than like, oh, they want to polish it. You know, there's two not dones. You know?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, they're probably like, if they're like still working on it, meaning like it's not even playable, like they're not even testing it, then it's I feel weird, you know? I feel like maybe they might have like, okay, we wanted to wait another year. But
well, yeah. I don't know. I think they probably got a lot planned and a lot is sort of
it's planned done, already. Fixing
but
it.
They can't do it. They can't say, you know, let's say they have some crazy idea for guilds or something like, oh, the alliance system is coming back or something. And they have the idea and they have the theory for the infrastructure. Maybe it even works on like a small scale or something. But until they're 100% sure that is absolutely going to be the feature, they probably won't mention it, like to us kind of thing. I don't know.
Yeah, that's probably a useless conversation we just had. But SAB, the bug looks cool. You know, but
wow, the bug looks cool.
I just not. I want to have it out. I want to have it. I want to see what stuff they could be. You know, like how they're gonna change it up. Like obviously with the April Fool's joke. You know, when you walk in, it's basically Armageddon, where you're you have your hands out.
Yeah,
I thought it was the most hilarious thing ever.
Dude, I was playing when that toggled on. It was the craziest thing. I was just walking around. I was like, I just got my new graphics card. Oh, that's something that went on. My GPU finally came, so that was cool. But I was like, oh yeah, FPS is kind of cool. This is sweet. This is nice. Actually, it's really cool, by the way. Really, really awesome.
See, you didn't mention what you got, so I'm assuming it's something I'm not gonna like, is it?
No. I got I'm like pretty much in debt right now for this, but I think it's worth it. I got a 980.
Okay.
So a GTX 980.
He made a good choice, guys. He made a good choice.
Well, here's the thing. Here's what really swung me on it, okay? I had an NVIDIA card, which was a 470, and then I upgraded it to a HD 7950, like 2 years, last year, maybe a little bit before a year ago, which I was happy with, though. I didn't see a very big frame bump from it, like in Guild Wars 2, I didn't see a huge bump, but I was pretty happy with the upgrade. However, then that 7950 broke a couple of months ago. Or not even that long ago, like a month ago or something. Like it just randomly went kaput. I had already been like planning on upgrading and stuff, and it went kaput. So I went back to the 470, and then when it came to buying a new GPU, I was kind of like, the NVIDIA at least seems to work better with Guild Wars 2 and a lot of other games that I've been playing. Yeah. The 470's never died on me, even though it's way, way, way older. And I don't know, even though there's a new generation, I think the next ATI cards are coming out very soon, even though that's going on, I was like, do you know what? I want to go back to NVIDIA. So that's what happened.
Wise choice.
I do feel like they're more robust, and I do favor those cards more, especially now.
More money means better cards, means they always stay on top. You might as well fund the people and make them become a monopoly.
Wow,
just like
monopolies.
Intel. I used to be all in AMD all the time. And then I realized that they're incredibly slow and they overheat too much, which tends to be such a problem with AMDs. But anyways, they've solved a couple issues now. You know, they're getting more money now.
It's hard to just. Yeah.
They're still not going to catch up to Intel. It's sad. It's sad. Obviously, I love my AMD peoples. But yeah,
I've
Intel
always
for
used
life
Intel processors anyway, at the very least. But yeah, so that was cool. And yeah, I was running around and I was looking at stuff. I was like, oh, I'm getting over 100 frames. This is badass in different areas. And then I was messing around with some like shader stuff, some post-process stuff. and all of a sudden the screen just like went crazy, and I was like, what the hell? I was like, this isn't right. Did my thing just break? And then I realized, oh no, actually my character is going and then she had her arms up and stuff. I was like, oh, okay, cool. I'm an aeroplane. This is the April Fool's joke. Yeah. That was pretty much my experience of it.
Yeah, that's I enjoyed that joke. I enjoyed quite.
There were some people that got so angry about it. Though.
Oh,
it was hilarious.
A lot.
This is the worst update ever. Literally one day, guys. 1 day of your lives. People blow up. I'm like, you are such fun police. Like, honestly, can't you see when you're being incredible fun police? Like, you're just like, wait, hold on. Am I overreacting a little bit? Oh, they're taking choices away from players. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, my God. Please stop.
If whining works, and they took it down, too. If whining works, then we should probably demand some other stuff, Like maybe some dueling, right. Maybe.
Dueling, okay, all right.
Is
that so that we can duel each other
housing
in PvE?
Yes, yeah. That'll be. I would love to just do random duels. I would make videos just like every day, another duel. Just duel all day and have fun with it. That would
be really cool. I've heard about what was it? Some streamer did something where they accepted donations or something.
Soda popping.
Right, and what
I was talking to you about it. Yeah.
Yeah, what's the whole story there? He places bets, right, or something, and he always doubles or nothing if he loses?
Yeah. He takes donations, and then if you donate to him, you can duel him. That's basically it.
And
real money.
Oh, really? Were you talking to me about this? I was thinking of something else. I was thinking about something where...
Oh, okay. Never mind. Mm-hmm.
I was thinking about something where there was some streamer who would... duel people, and they'd put a stake down, and if he won, then he got the money, obviously. So let's say you bet 50k or something, right? If he won, he'd take your 50k, but if you won, then he would pay you double your bet. So then he'd give you 100k, and the way he would reimburse that is through donations that people offered. And also they were just a very good PvP and a very good dueler, so they won the majority and they were always in the green. And that's a cool thought to me. And so there's always a lot of excitement from dueling this one guy, because you get double or nothing odds instead of...
I should totally do that. Totally do that, dude.
Yeah, it's a cool idea, right? And then you don't have to feel bad taking in-game gold donations from people, because they just go...
Because they're going to be getting wrecked. Just like I win most of my games, most of my duels.
Jesus.
I do. Except for... I always go back to the thief, dude. Oh. Thief, the good thief. I'm not talking about just a regular thief. I'm talking about someone who's been playing the character for a while. Those and simple NGs. For some reason, NGs kill my guardian. Not my Mesmer, but my guardian. Just like creams my guardian. I don't know. I guess you can't play well against NGs when it comes down to my guardian.
Oh, that sucks, dude. Yeah, that's well, we got it for World versus World, I guess.
Yeah.
Yay. Right.
Yeah. Since you haven't played anything at all, I have been playing nothing at all too.
Whoa! What? No way! Whoa! I want to play like a victory noise right now. You should edit a victory noise into the pod. Really? You have no response here?
No, I've played stuff, but the same stuff from last time.
High five, man! Mono gaming. It feels good, right?
Well, mono gaming. That's
Hotline
Miami.
Whatever.
That's
not mono gaming.
Pillars.
Staying with one game for more than a week. Feels good, right?
Yeah, no, not necessarily. That means I wasn't doing much. That's what's going on.
You're enjoying yourself, taking some R&R. What are you talking about?
No, you can't do that while you're trying to make videos.
While you're self-employed and trying to
make videos. I'm just gonna do whatever. But I play some. You guys are probably gonna see it before this comes out. But Yandere Simulator.
Right, you talked to me about this.
So, you know what a yandere is?
No, I don't know what a yandere is.
It means lovesick. Basically, a character in an anime girl. She would. I guess it's mostly anime girls. There's not many guy yanderes. I don't think they're. I'm pretty sure they could be a guy yandere. But anyways, you play as a girl, anime girl who is in love with her senpai so much that any girl who comes close to touching her senpai, she will kill or murder. And you could do multiple things in this game as a yandere. You can, which I tried to do, which I did, is stuff them inside of all right. You can level up certain things in class, right? You go to school, you see your senpai out there, you can talk to people, you gain popularity. That means you can ask them to do more stuff and, have casual conversation with them. You can level up stuff like biology, chemistry, stuff like that, so you can make weapons or understand the body so you can kill without too much blood being splattered on the floor, so you have less to clean. There's also biology, which if you level it up, you can steal a syringe and tranquilizer from the nurse's office and lure a girl into the gym, into the storage room, close the door, tranquilize them, put them inside of a suitcase, instrument case, right? So they're asleep. So after school, you come back and you take the case and you put it inside of your basement.
Oh, really? In the basement?
So you see the girl there in your basement, so you can keep her there. Yeah. So she can't be close to your senpai.
What is this?
Yeah. There's also like framing involved, and when you kill them, you have to kind of like dispose of the body, and clean up the mess on the ground. Change your clothes, stuff like that.
Wow, you sound entirely too casual about this.
Yeah.
Kill people.
Yeah. I'm desensitized, I guess.
Is it funny? What's the deal?
Yeah, I had like the monotone voice throughout the whole thing. It's interesting. It's a different take. It's kind of like a Hitman type game. You slowly work up, you level up,
dude, it sounds insane.
Yeah, it's good though. It's interesting. It's interesting. Maybe I'm not too into doing the panty shots or anything like that, like it asks you to do. Like you get points for like taking pictures of that, and I was like, I don't know if I'm okay with that. But like, yeah, but everything else is pretty interesting.
Wow, man.
Yeah, Jesus. Yeah. Super anime love right there. So that's what I've been playing. I've also been playing Heroes. That's right. No, I have been playing a lot of stuff. Never mind. Yandere wasn't the only one. Heroes. I also played Heroes.
Wow. You ruined it. You've ruined it.
I'm sorry. I play games.
All right. You've been playing Heroes. Wait. Heroes, the Blizzard game?
Yeah, the Blizzard game.
Okay.
It's actually quite good.
I've had a few people playing it around me in my guild.
It's actually quite good. So it's totally different from like any other MOBA. Like Dota, what you know about Dota and League of Legends, like throw that out the window. Like, of course, the mechanics is the same. Like you still play like in the style of Dota, but you have no items. Instead, you have talents, right?
Right.
Which basically every few levels you get to pick a different talent, which changes your character. So you can choose if your basic attacks heal you, or your basic attacks gain more attack speed as you attack, or stuff like that. Like, and it's different for each champion, and each champion you play levels up, which unlocks more talents. So you have a different level for each champion. Also,
so with no items, but you've got this replacing it. Is there still kind of like a shop mechanic, like a go back mechanic?
No.
So you never have to go back.
You don't have to go back unless you're like low health and you're not, and your shrine is on cooldown. You have this shrine that could be destroyed, just like your like towers inside of League of Legends. But here it's kind of like Warcraft 3, where you have like a shrine, you have a tower, you have like a house thing, which I have no idea what it does because I only played a few matches. But it they attack. They're like towers that attack the enemy. But in this one, the shrine, you can go back into your base and it will heal you and give you mana. So if you're very smart, you know how to kind of keep your health up by using the shrine and going back, and it has a respawn timer and everything like that. So there's no shop mechanic, and there's also mounts.
Oh, are there? Really?
There's also mounts. Let me say it one more time. There's also mounts. So that
wait,
alone means it's a
that?
10 out of 10. Huh? Yeah.
I was asking you to repeat it. What is there in it?
Yeah. There's also mounts.
Mounts.
Yeah.
That sounds it. What are mounts, Matt? I don't play any games with mounts in them, so.
Yeah. Mono gamer, right? So.
Do you want to fill me in with that?
It's basically just a cosmetic thing that you can ride on. You know.
Right. Okay. That sounds cool. Yeah. Cosmetic only. That sounds in line with what I like.
Could be an animal, human, whatever. You know.
Okay.
Hey, the only thing I don't like about it. Well, let me finish the thing. So it has that you don't have to last hit minions, which is a big thing that people hate about League of Legends. It's too hardcore. You don't have to all
That's
XP
funny.
is shared through so if one guy is going like 19-0, which was me basically with the Demon Hunter chick, Vala.
So
I just was wrecking. Everyone levels up with you. Everyone's the same level. Yeah. So there's no like one powerful than the other. And what that kind of opens up support as well. So support doesn't have to worry about falling behind or anything like that because there is no gold mechanic and there's all XP is shared. So you can have more balance, I guess you can say, when it comes down to support and attacking and everything like that.
So this is a more casual take on MOBA.
Yeah, but
What's
in
the
a
game
sense,
I'm not saying that's a bad thing.
Yeah,
I think that can be a cool thing.
So it's more driven. It's more map driven as well.
Okay.
So the maps have cool mechanics on it. Like sometimes you can spot. You can when you kill like the jungle. If you kill a camp, those monsters will come help you fight the lane and push the lane. Or there's like this big major mechanic if you successfully capture the points, you will there'll be a curse on the whole stage on the opposite team. Basically,
right, okay.
all minions are one hit and towers can attack you.
Oh, that's amazing. That's really cool.
So it's like it's really cool mechanics like that, and each map is different.
Are you saying there's Yeah. So how many maps are there as well?
I don't know, but it's quite a handful. I think
that's
cool. Quite a bit. Yeah, there's not only one map.
Did you get any kicks out of the fact you get to play as various iconic Blizzard characters?
Yeah, I thought that was quite cool. It was quite cool. Like I played Diablo, and Diablo is like really, really.
You were
fun
playing Diablo, really?
Yeah,
That's
you could do like the combo, which you just get right away. It's like, oh yeah, this combo's quite well. You know, you grab them and you throw them behind you, and then you push them to the side in the corner, and then like if you have like a carry with you, you just wreck them. Like it's nuts.
How many champions are there?
From the top of my head, I know there's like at least around 30-ish.
30 Okay, that's not bad.
No, maybe a little bit more than that. Maybe a little bit more than that. But no, maybe a little bit less. Maybe I'm overselling it. Between 20 and 30. I'm trying to remember from the top of my head, but you guys can look that up. You guys can look. Google, guys. Google.
Yeah,
but it's quite a bit. There's quite a bit of selection, and they have free rotation, of course. And this is when it gets kind of sketchy. Is that it's very expensive. It's very expensive. Like the skins are like $10 to $20, and the mounts cost money
really?
too. Yeah, some things you can only get through that. You could buy your champions, or you can use gold.
Mm-hmm.
You know, stuff like that. You know, and gold. You get like nine points for like bot matches, and then I think around like, depending if you win, you get like around 10 to 20 points of gold. And like champions are like 10,000. So it's pretty crazy.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Jesus.
It's pretty crazy. But you know, there's dailies as well, which I think give you quite a bit. I think about 1,000 if I'm not correct. Oh, about 1,000 gold. So if you play every day, you should be able to grab some stuff, you know?
Okay, yeah. All right. That sounds more lenient straight away.
Yeah.
It's a bit like Hearthstone. I would expect it to be, if you get good, it's not that aggressive on your wallet, but you've kind of got the option to go mental with it, you know? Especially if skins are that expensive. That's kind of nuts. I don't know, though. You and I have both been addicted to MOBAs before.
Yeah.
I would be scared. Like, it sounds cool, but again, I would be scared to play this because I might get addicted. What do you think its capacity?
Let's do videos on it then. That's how you can play games.
Oh right, so we're gonna see some Heroes of the Storm videos coming out soon.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, totally. Oh, okay. Here it is. The daily quests give you like between 200 gold and 800 gold.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a huge variance as well.
Yeah. It's different ones. I wanted to make sure I corrected myself there. Sometimes you get like a big, like 1,000 gold. I don't know what I got it for, but I got it twice. I don't know what. It's probably for some challenge or something like that. But yeah, it's I quite like it, and I will continue to play it every once in a while. I think so. Like it's very different from what I'm used to with Dota and League of Legends. And the only other MOBA that I've played until now that wasn't League of Legends was Smite. And
Smite.
That's different as well when it comes in terms of gameplay. Everything else is the same. You know, you still have items and you still have to level up a certain amount and stuff like that. But like, Smite is totally fun. If you haven't played that, then you guys should probably go play that.
Smite's one of these cool games that has been growing and growing and growing and is unceasing in that respect. And I love that I still hear people talking about Smite and it still comes around. I had a friend who was really into it a long time ago.
It grew insanely in the last year. Like, insane. It was such a small company. I remember beta testing it. And I remember it being very small, and I watched the Twitter followers and like everything just kind of explode over some games that we even play now. So
yeah, it's one of those things for me. It's like Dark Souls. It's one of these things that I had people telling me a long time ago. Hey, you should do videos on this. You should do videos on this. I had a good friend who was super into Smite early days and was like, dude, do some videos on this. Why don't you stream this? And I'm like, no, I'm all right. And now I'm looking back, I'm like, oh, it's huge now. What if I had been there with my foot in that door? You know?
Yeah, there's not many Smite YouTubers out there though. There's not many out there. I guess it's I don't know. It's weird.
I'm talking about full-on casting, Matt.
Full-on casting?
Smite matches. Yeah, I'm a caster.
Why don't you just cast Guild Wars 2, man?
Oh, God, because Conquest sucks. Moving on. Movie club.
Movie club. Okay, so Interstellar. Full disclosure. I'm talking like a fish. I did not watch it again, but I remember it.
Yeah, neither did I. I didn't watch it again.
It's a 3-hour movie, and I just didn't have 3 hours to spare.
I know, and it's a draining movie as well. It's yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I don't know. Okay, all right. Let's get it out there. I really like this movie.
Okay.
I really, really like this movie. I don't know what you're gonna say yet. So you might be the other side of the fence here.
All right,
but
okay.
I really enjoyed even the slowness in the beginning. Like how slow it was, I didn't care because I was enjoying the acting. I was enjoying where it was moving, the characters, everything developing was just really cool to watch.
Do you know what I found so intriguing about the start? Like, you know, when you go into Interstellar, this is a movie about space, right? This is also a bit of a mind trip movie. It's got like some big things about the universe here, right? You know that it's a movie about this, and yet for a long time at the start, you're watching like these really normal, sort of down-to-earth, basic things of just people like, you know, farmers going about their lives and stuff, right? Like, and I found that so intriguing. I was waiting for the transition. And the coolest stuff, yeah, you're right, it's slow, but you're constantly wondering about the universe, aren't you? You're like,
yeah.
They never sit you down and say, the year is some distant time in the future, and this thing called, what did they call it? The Blight? Was it? The Blight? Has been plaguing humanity. There were too many. Overpopulation has led to a lack of food. You know, the most intelligent on the planet have now become the farmers and the heads of agriculture to try and make sure that plants can survive and blah blah blah. Like, they don't sit you down and explain that it's this like almost dystopic future that we're in and humanity is slowly dying out. Like, when I started watching the movie, I thought we were just, like, in the present day, normal stuff going on, and I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting that they have these kind of, like, farmers who are, like, super intelligent. You never see that in movies. And I was like, oh, wait, there's a reason for it. It's, like, a plot point. And then they're like...
Crops were dying, and all was left was, like, corn and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. And they're like, the drone's been flying around uncontrolled for years, you know, the satellite when you got disabled or whatever. And you're like, wait, what is the setting here? And you don't know, and that's so intriguing. Like, it's really slow start, but you're constantly asking yourself these questions about like, wait, what is the setting? What's happened? How do we get to space? What? Like, that's awesome, right? I love the early bits of the movie. Okay, I'm still with you.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Go ahead.
They use this beginning part to develop the story between, develop the story with his son, with his daughter, which plays a big part, and then you move on to the space, right? And this is amazing. Like, your mind is just like, oh snap, the wormhole looks so cool, and it's just eye candy all around, and you're just wondering. It captures the feeling of space. What is space? Like the unknown, the scary but intriguing. That feeling is constantly pounding through that like beginning phase when you're going into space, and they have to make tough choices because everything is different on each planet, and you might have to go through what would they call the singularity, which will change the way time moves. So if they're there for like an hour, like 27 years pass by in regular time, and it's just that happens in the movie. We're not gonna get to spoilers yet, but that happens in the movie, like with certain people and stuff, and it's like whoa, like it really puts a heaviness to the whole thing, and uncertainty really, and I really enjoyed it. Now there's a certain part where people don't like, right, and totally understandable, where the science kind of goes. We as we know, this is science fiction, obviously, right? It's fiction. We don't know how this stuff works. We apply because there was a scientist consultant on this movie, and they tried to make it as believable as possible. But of course, there's going to be a little bit Deus Ex Machina to it. There's going to be a little bit of like, whoa, this is trippy. Like, I don't believe this. This doesn't make any sense. There's a scene in that where that happens, and that could ruin the movie for you, or you can kind of blow past it. And I knew that something like that was going to happen already, so I was kind of prepared for it. Like, you don't...
I wasn't prepared for it when it happened.
Yeah, but ever since I saw the whole thing where she was seeing that stuff in her room, I knew, like...
Well, yeah, okay, so, here's the thing. I said you're constantly asking questions. The cool thing I liked was, even when we got to space, by the way, the sound design in space is amazing, like how whenever you're in space, it's, like, super silent, and they change the aspect ratio constantly and stuff, like, it's awesome. Anyway, when you get into space, and it's pretty, it's pretty decent science for a while, there's still, like, that magic there, like, the wormhole itself... We're already, and it's kind of explained, there are people watching over us. There's something magical. There's like a magical element there. There's a leap you've taken, a leap into fantasy, with the handshake as they're going through the portal. Like, so that's there. And so, yeah, you can kind of be prepared for the scene at the end, right? But
they also mentioned that some people put the wormhole there. They did it. They.
They're always
like
setting
that type of stuff is not realistic in the first place. Like, I'm already prepared for that. And like, someone guided him to the place and stuff. We're gonna talk about it, guys. You might as well skip past. We're trying not to spoil too much until we get to that crucial moment where we talk about the end. But you might want to skip past from now until like we don't talk about it anymore. If you should probably watch it before listening to this part anyway. This the part where he's being led to the station, right, where they're building it. Obviously, they're he thought of it as a calling. They picked them, and they all constantly say they. So I feel like it's either gonna be aliens that are just gonna appear. Like, that's all I'm thinking in my head. Freaking aliens are just gonna appear, or something weird is gonna happen. That's gonna be it's gonna be weird, unless he pulls it off, and he didn't necessarily pull it off. Even for me, and I like the movie, he didn't necessarily pull it off. It's a little weird. It's a little weird being able to see all that, but it makes sense in the context. But it's just as trying to be believable, probably not.
Well, so like my favorite parts of the movie early was really good. My favorite part of the movie was when we were still pretty grounded in realism, but we were dealing with relativity. And when they go to the planet with the giant tidal waves, like that's not fantasy. There, this is theoretically how planets orbiting so close to a friggin' black hole could act, right? As far as I'm aware, anyway. Like, so it's really, and they come back up to the ship and they see the guy that they left behind has got all old, and that stuff was amazing. And I loved seeing them as a team try and manage resources, and how it was like, oh, we're not just trying to manage our health and supplies and fuel and stuff, we're trying to manage time. Like, time is the main thing we're trying to value here. And like seeing then all the video messages and stuff, and the emotion of watching his son grow up and then eventually give up on him and all that stuff. Matthew McConaughey does an incredible performance.
I mean, he basically is Matthew McConaughey. That's how he acts. But man, is it good.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
And that scene where you're talking about, where he's seeing his children grow up, because the woman made a mistake on that planet with the big wave. So
she didn't even make a mistake. She just died. It was just transmitting for years and years. And
years. Yeah. And she died like moments before they even got there.
Like, she probably died like 5 minutes ago. In terms of the planet's timeline, she landed 5 minutes later. They land to find her. Like, how crazy is that? But in real time, it's been years. Like, that's so cool.
And by the way, I was listening to a scientist talk about Interstellar, right? And the believability of Interstellar. And he was saying that the tidal wave thing, it's more of a wave that is constantly being like
circling the planet.
Yeah, circling the whole thing. And it keeps circling, and that it's not necessarily possible, but it's a movie. So, have the science as the base and run with the idea is basically what he said.
Dude, that scene is one of the main ones where I was like, I wish I was watching this in the cinema right now. Like, some of these shots were so good. I was like, I wish I was in the cinema right now. This friggin' tidal wave plummeting towards them is so cool. I was like, oh, I'm really missing out on a little bit of the experience.
Neil Tyson is the guy I'm talking about. The planetarium.
That part of the movie was amazing. I was super into the movie at that point, and I was super into it when Matt Damon came into the picture, and you're like, Is he lying? Is he lying? Is he lying? And then it all starts blowing up. However, and I love the way that... should I spoil stuff?
Yeah, well, we already spoiled a lot.
All right, okay. I love the way that Matt Damon died as well, just in the middle of his rant. He's like, blah, 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 and then he dies. And then the audio cuts out because it's, again, outside. And it's so cool. But
dude, that scene after.
That's where I think the movie peaked, though. I when it got to the crazy black hole stuff and the Tesseract and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. It lost me a bit. And it's not because it wasn't realistic. It's just that I preferred the movie when it was like this kind of more standard mission
on the ground. You're not flying to outer space just yet. You feel like you can follow the movie, right?
Yeah, I don't care that it was. I don't care how scientific it was or believable. That doesn't matter to me. It's just that it was a bit too surreal and a bit too convenient, maybe. I don't know. So
I'm a little bit different. I feel like I didn't go in thinking that way because it's a science fiction movie. But because the movie felt so believable, like this could be possible, I held it to that standard. So when the Tesseract part happened, where he starts seeing, basically every moment,
4-dimensional space,
and we're using the bookshelf. He can see all the bookshelf and see how his little girl grew up and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. It kind of brought me out a little bit, but I was still okay to just enjoy the movie. And yeah, I do feel like it was convenient. And if I would say, if there was a low point of a part of the movie I did not like, it would be that one. But did it destroy the movie for me? No, it didn't. What it did destroy, though, it completely destroyed Gravity for me. Other than, of course, Honest Trailers destroyed Gravity for me. But watching this is just like, it set a standard for space movies from here on out.
Gravity's a great movie, though. I know you watched Honest Trailers and it destroyed it.
Dude, I love Gravity. If you watch Gravity, go watch Honest Trailers and watch him just crap on it. And I stopped watching Honest Trailers because of that. I just don't want to listen to him whine about games or movies ever again.
Even if he is right.
Even if he's right, yeah, obviously. I just don't care because I want to enjoy my stuff. I don't want to hear some cynical bastard, you know? Like I don't want to hear that. And all the cynical people probably love honest trailers where they're just like, you know, those people who they can't enjoy anything. They just hate everything. Everything has to have you have to have an opinion on everything. You can't just simply enjoy a medium. You can't.
Yeah. Yeah. I will say as well, for Interstellar, right, even though that bit was a definite low and a bit too weird for me, and I do think sort of smeared it a bit, one thing, okay, and tell me what you think about this, okay? The whole way going into Interstellar, and as I was watching it and stuff, I was thinking, oh, this is one of those movies where it's like, you have like a one-off and like there's no way they could ever do a sequel to it. There's no way it could become a franchise. It's just this cool like standalone awesome experience. That's what I thought it was. And then after the scene with the Tesseract and when they were closing stuff down and then once he meets his daughter once again and she's very old and they've actually solved the the gravity equation or whatever and created these new worlds and stuff and you find out the chick he was with has created her own colony on another planet. All the closing parts of the movie like hyped me the hell up. I was like, whoa, this movie like was like really, really, really good, dipped significantly at the climax. And then the end, like I loved everything I saw. I was like, wow, now I want like an Interstellar 2 or something. Everything I saw at that point, I was like, this ended on an awesome note. You know, Matthew McConaughey's going out once again to find her on this planet where she had all of these, she seeded it with human life. And because of relativity, obviously that's going to have moved in time really, really fast. So he's going to find these people years later. Like, that's so cool. Like, that's amazing. And you've got like this awesome universe now where you have humans that have evolved to this point or technologically where they have like spherical planets and like, oh my dude, don't you think that's like incredible? Like, I love the way the movie
I kind of love the scene where they made a museum of the old house and he's just like, nah, I don't want to live in the past. I want to see what we worked for. And that right there was just like, it gave me chills. I was like, yes. It gave me chills right now. It's just like, yeah, dude, like freaking, like, because this whole time, like, yeah, sure, like his old house, memories, whatever, but dude, it's time to move on, like you went into space and that's exactly who his character was. He was born too late or too early or whatever. Like he just didn't fit in this world. And he was like destined to be, out there in the planet. Like
they did that whole line, didn't they? Where it's like everyone says it in the real life. It's we were born too late to explore Earth and too early to explore the solar system or the universe, right? Like they said that line is in the movie, and he's like, "You're very talented, son," to Matthew McConaughey, but you were born too late or too early or whatever. And then now he's in like this futuristic, amazing world. Like, of course, that's awesome. It's such a cool end,
And he just grabs a ship and he's like, "Yeah, I know how to do this. I'll figure it out." And he just jumps right out. Yeah.
Like all the moon landing conspiracies and stuff at the start of the movie that like infuriated him. Again, that's what I loved about the start of the movie. Like they just come out with the moon landing stuff and you're like, wait, what is this saying?
With the when he goes, because they're just looking for farmers, they're not looking for scientists and everything. They're kind of like we just gotta focus on surviving. And he's talking to like the child's counselors and stuff. Oh,
yeah, dude.
Oh man, I was just like. I was just smiling. I couldn't help but smile because the way it was done, like you kind of feel him a little bit. Yeah. Especially if you're a sci-fi buff. You're like, man, yeah, we gotta go to space, man. We gotta figure this out. Like, I'm giddy because the movie. I just enjoyed the hell out of this movie. And I would watch it again if a friend didn't see it or whatever. I'll watch it again. And I'll probably buy it on Blu-ray. I rarely buy some stuff on Blu-ray, but I think I might cop some of that Interstellar. and someone said, "How do you like Interstellar but you don't like 2001?"
Oh, I saw this. Yeah, this comment. Yeah.
Plainly because this had a story.
Wow.
It had a story. It had a focus, like let me not say that.
I do feel like this is kind of the modern. No,
it's not. Like it 2011 was all over the place. 2001.
Yeah, well, it was. Well, okay. Here's why that isn't a good comparison because Kubrick never made 2001 as a pure like entertainment. A film for entertainment, like in the traditional sense that we would be entertained by Interstellar. Like they weren't even trying the same things. I get it; they're both kind of surreal movies about space, but they're absolutely incomparable.
Right. He was just trying to show off, pretty much. He was just trying to like.
I don't know about that. But
he was just look what I can do. Yeah, I'm totally smearing the name of 2001.
Wow, this is amazing. I love it.
I'm sorry. I do love Interstellar more than I like I mean, obviously.
Yeah,
that's
you're totally
obvious.
right for feeling that way, dude.
It's obvious. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it as that. I'm not gonna drill on about 2001.
We talked a long time about this movie as well.
Yeah, we did.
Do you want to talk about next week's movie club?
Yeah, Starship Trooper. We're gonna go ahead, and this was suggested by the community. Go ahead and
woo! Yeah, we had no ideas, so we were like, "What do people want us to watch?"
Neon 1928. He suggested that. So guys, go ahead and suggest like movie clips. I know many of you guys have been tossing some stuff on Twitter and stuff like that.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of it. I guess we're still on a bit of a spacey vibe at the moment, though, right?
Right. We're gonna change it up, and you guys get to suggest the next one too. So leave it in the comments, and then if something appears that we want to use for movie club or whatever, some big idea, kind of like the whole 50 Shades of Grey thing, which was I don't know. I kind of liked the conversation talking about 50 Shades because it did it. I don't know if it earned a actual like serious talk about 50 Shades of Grey, but we had it anyway. At least I brought it to the table, and it was, I don't know. I thought that was interesting. But yeah, it was. Neon, we'll watch Starship Troopers for next week. So I cannot wait to see Neil in that. That should be interesting. Neil Patrick Harris. Mm-hmm. That should be fun. So. The Walking Dead is over? What do you mean it's over? You mean done as a series or just finished?
No. The season's over. I haven't seen the finale. I really don't have much to say about it.
I saw that on the doc and I was just like, oh,
yeah. I just deleted it from the doc as well.
Yeah. I saw it. Like, you can't hide. No.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It's over. My brother told me that he read a spoiler. Oh, I shouldn't. No. We can't talk about it because I haven't even seen it yet. So yeah. But he said he read a spoiler that wasn't a spoiler in the end, so now I'm just very scared of what the hell's going on with the episodes. But I'm looking forward to it, and finally I'll be done with it, and then Game of Thrones rolls out. Hell yeah!
Oh my gosh, it feels like it's been more than a year.
Does it? It feels like less to me.
I'm not gonna remember anyone's names. I'm not. It's gonna be the same thing over again.
I always rewatch all of Game of Thrones before the new series comes out.
Really?
Like the whole thing. I'll go way back to Eddard Stark and go all the way back through. This year, I'm not going to do that. Yeah, and I also feel okay.
You don't have free time.
Well, maybe it's the time, maybe. But as well, at the same time, I don't know. I feel like I remember what happened with Oberon, and I remember what happened with Brienne and so forth. Yeah, come on.
Well, I remember certain things, but like it got a little crazy in the middle of season 2. For me,
it did,
and I was just like, okay, what story are we following again? And I was like, I was like, oh, these two guys look the same. And yeah, my head started hurting.
Oh my god, yeah, I think I know who you're talking about. You're talking about like Bronn and there was another guy as well. Right?
Yep.
Yeah, they looked totally the same.
I was just like, what's going on here? And then he would appear next to the other character, and I was like, oh, okay, you know what? And then I kind of got it at the end because it's starting to the story developed a little bit more. That scene made me feel like Hotline Miami, where you're just like, whoa, what's going on? And then you kind of understand a little bit more.
Did you finish that, by the way?
Huh?
Did you finish Hotline Miami?
No, I did not. No, I did not. It's annoying. The off-screen thing is annoying to me.
RIP Hotline Miami.
Yeah, I'll finish it. I hate not finishing something. So The Walking Dead, has it been good? Just say, has it been good or not? It's been good, right?
Yes, it has been good.
Because The Arrow and a lot of series have been just really bad for me.
Oh God, no, really?
What's the other? A series that was pretty much my favorite. Man, it's I keep banging on the desk. Christopher Nolan made it, or his brother. Person of Interest. Sorry. Person of Interest. That's getting really boring too. Like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know. I have no idea what's going on with
The Walking Dead is stellar at the moment. I promise you.
Okay, well, the Arrow, they're doing the whole CW thing now. It got really good at season 2, and in season 3 they're just dropping the ball. Like halfway during season 3, it's just like meh. Really, really meh. It gets really good in the middle of season 3 too, and then it just drops off again. This whole love interest thing between Felicity, one of my favorite characters thing, and it's just this triangle Edward Christian Stewart crap. It's getting annoying. It's getting really annoying, and I hate it. I don't love the love triangle thing, and I don't like it. If you're gonna do it, you have to do it well. And one of the only series that I really enjoyed the love story in was Castle. Like, Castle is pretty much one of my favorite. It probably is like top 3 of my favorite shows of all time, because it's consistently good with the writing, with the way they do the relationship. You know, none of this wishy-washy crap that you usually see. Like, yeah, sure, some of it is realistic, but it's just to the point that it gets annoying. No, it should never be to that point. And in Arrow, it's like that. And I heard Once Upon a Time is getting better, so I'm gonna watch some of that. Even though I can't get over the very like TV show Xena-ish feeling I get from it. You know, like the way the fighting is just like really childish. And
yeah, you said that this was some of the worst action.
Yeah, it is. It really is. But you don't watch it for that. You watch it for the story and how you like the characters develop and stuff like that. And Arrow did some really good stuff with some characters and then some really bad stuff with other characters. And The Flash just came out with a new episode. I only watched half of it. I know a guy on Twitter, which I'll bring up your name in a second. I gotta be better with names. Carl told me, he was like, yo, you need to watch it. Finally, you remember how I was saying Mark Hamill was gonna be in Flash and he wasn't in Flash, and they had this big like mid-season like break. New episode came out and he's in it. Now, Mark Hamill, the same guy who played, let me fresh up because I know a lot of people don't watch every episode. Mark Hamill's the same guy who plays the Joker, and he was Luke Skywalker. And he's been in some other movies as well, but that's his major role.
Isn't he reprising his role as Luke as well?
In the new Star Wars? Actually, I don't know. I think he might be in it. I'll look it up right now. But he is playing the trickster in the Flash, right? And I only watched half of it, right? So I haven't watched the second half because I wanted to give an opinion on it, and I really wanted to see Mark Hamill because I can't watch it without my wife. My wife is going to get really mad. So I watched half of it just to see him. And like I said before, I like the Flash more than I like the Arrow, and this just confirms it, okay?
Okay.
Mark Hamill does a really good job. It's like he's awesome. It's like he's the Joker. It's like he's playing the Joker. But it's like the Joker with Hannibal Lecter a little bit in there.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, that's him. And if he's going to be permanent in this, I'm so happy. I don't know how much they paid him. I don't know if Mark Hamill's considered like an A-list celebrity or anything like that. And they, you know,
he's in that weird spot. Certainly in the world of voiceover work.
Yeah. Voiceover, he's definitely A-list. Definitely. I mean, come on. It's freaking Luke Skywalker.
But for what it's worth, by the way, Hamill will appear in the new trilogy of Star Wars movies, along with fellow original Star Wars actors Harrison Ford and Carrie Fisher, reprising their roles as Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, and Princess Leia, respectively. All three of them are returning. All three of them are back for the next trilogy.
Can you imagine? Like, because actors get better, obviously, right, through time, especially if they're constantly honing their craft. Mark Hamill's a way better actor, and he hasn't been given many roles. At all. Yeah. Like, and finally he's given a role where he's I guess he's mostly popular. One of his two popular things. He's the Joker and he's Luke Skywalker. He's really known for the Joker right now, and he gets to play a version of the Joker basically. And he's psychotic. It's great. Like, he's emotional. He's broken in this character, and it's so good to see him actually spread his wings, because I was watching interviews with him, and it's just like, man, why aren't you like a movie star? Like, why aren't you doing stuff? Like, it'll be so cool to see you in these major movies. And finally, he's in at least a TV show that I really like. I really like the Flash. Yeah, sure, it's not perfect, but it's really good.
Oh God, imagine if he does terribly as the episodes roll out, and then you end up losing a hero.
If he's a guy, he has to constantly be there. He has to constantly be there. It's really cool to see also in the Flash, Prison Break guy, which that's why I call him. Sorry, I don't know. I didn't know his name by heart because he just fell off the map after Prison Break. Man, I really like Prison Break. I should watch 25. Anyways, yeah, I get sidetracked. He did a good job. I can't wait to finish the episode. And Carl, I'll let you know next week how I feel. Hopefully another episode comes out and I'll watch that too. Hopefully he's in the second episode too. I doubt that they'll kill off the trickster.
Mark Hamill.
You know, he's a villain. So yeah. And he needs to be in it for it to be like really, really cool. Like, it's weird that am I wrong to feel that it's weird that he's playing the Joker
villain? Yeah.
It's a little bit wrong, right? I feel like, I mean, it's in the DC universe, so whatever, right? But man, it's a little bit weird that he's playing the Joker as the Twixter. But yeah, I mean, he's obviously different. But yeah.
So you want to move to the questions?
Question time, baby.
We got 2 stellar ones here. First one is from Sarvesh Gaming, who says, "Do you guys watch the DC superhero series Arrow and the Flash?" The next question is from Destroy, who says, "Hello, MP and WP. It's been a while since my last question. If you could wipe your memory of one game and play through the game again, which would it be and why?" We've talked about stuff vaguely like this before, right?
Yeah.
I mean, for TV, I know that my answer is always Lost. I would want to wipe my memory of Lost, and I would want to watch Lost all over.
Oh my gosh, what torment you put yourself.
What do you mean? Lost is like was my favorite show when it was coming out. Oh my god, dude, it's such a good show.
I would have to rewatch the whole thing. That would be devastating for me.
The mystery, man. Oh, and the emotion and the drama.
The mystery. Oh, so many questions. What's in the box? Oh, this episode we opened one flap. The next episode we opened another flap. Oh, the next episode we opened the third flap. Oh my gosh, we almost can see it. Let's open up the next flap. And more questions.
It's the series finale.
No, more questions.
The finale may not have been perfect, but that show was amazing, and I loved every minute of watching it.
I gotta rewatch it again. I really do. Hopefully Hulu has it. Hulu has been pretty good to me. Games. Yeah, go ahead. You finish, and I'll do next.
For games, okay, there's the silly part of me that's like, okay, Guild Wars 2 would be cool because it's changed so much, so it'd be cool to just experience it fresh with all the new stuff in it. But then for other games, I don't know, like, I think maybe some of the Final Fantasies, I remember 10 really affected me when I first played it, and now I know the story and stuff, and it's not so, I know it too well. Oh, maybe some of the other Final Fantasies. Lost Odyssey was also a great game. Probably some big RPG is what I would want my memory wiped for and then play it again. I would be tempted to say one of these really old games as well that I really like and have immense nostalgia for. But I feel like that's actually the worst possible thing you could do it for, because maybe those games are only good in my eyes because of the nostalgia.
And that's why I wouldn't say Dragon Age Origins, because if I were to play it right now and wipe my memory from it, I would not like it. I would like like the story and I would still enjoy it, but back then, it
was the best.
It was the best, and I got into the combat a little bit. I mean, I still hated it back then when I first played it. But I it's not a perfect game. Not to say my list is going to be a perfect game, but for me, in terms of games, in terms of shows, I would probably want to wipe my mind off Castle. Because it's rarely that I watch a show where it just has consistently fantastic writing and story development and character development that it just makes me want to cry and crawl into a little bowl and say, wow, why can't more series be like this? Is there another one? There's a couple other ones that I would probably put into that category that I really enjoyed watching.
There's like a lot of trippy movies as well, with like big twists at the end, like The Usual Suspects or something. I would quite like to rewatch, like again, memory wiped, so you get to experience it again.
Yeah.
Hell, even stuff like The Sixth Sense, it would be kind of cool.
Yeah. Oh, for games would definitely be Kingdom Hearts. The feeling that I got, wipe my memory of the songs too. Everything about it, and just jump in fresh like I did years ago. I would, just to experience that all over again, and hearing the music for the first time, and the feeling that tugs at your heartstrings. Love
it. And this isn't nostalgia.
Yeah,
killing nostalgia.
I just like it, and I'm full on. Like I played pretty much every version of it. I played the 3DS version. I've played the Game Boy Advance version of A Chain of Memories and stuff like that. Like I enjoyed it on every platform. It's because I enjoyed the series so much, and they like spread it out through all these platforms, which is disgusting. But it's like hoarding your fans. Mass Effect 1 and 2, I would wipe my mind.
Dude, actually, that's a great answer, and I'll tell you why. Because I want to play 3, but I don't want to play through 1 and 2. I want to play 3 with 1 and 2, but I also don't have it in me to go through 1 and 2 again. Yeah. You're damn right. Wiping those, hell yeah.
Those man, the feeling, emotion that I got through those 2 games were amazing. To the point that's why a lot of people go psychotic over Mass Effect 3. Like, that's why we feel so strongly about it, is because, we had our own interpretation of 1 and 2, and it was apparently different for the devs, right?
Careful.
I'm just saying, no, this is a serious answer. I'm usually trolling, but
no. I'm saying I don't want spoilers. I'm saying I don't want spoilers of the end of 3.
Oh, you haven't seen the ending?
Yeah, no, I haven't. I'm waiting.
Really? No one has spoiled you the ending of 3.
Oh, don't. Now you've made it a thing.
Okay, I'm sorry. All right, well, anyways, another one would be Portal 2.
Okay.
Portal 2, I enjoyed it so much. I don't know.
Actually, yeah.
I really enjoyed it. The Portal series in general, Portal 1 and 2. I just really enjoyed it. It's simple. It's very simple. Part 2 was probably one of the best sequels to ever come out. Like, it actually added a story and it made it better. Like, that's weird.
Yeah.
It one didn't have all those things. It had little tidbits, like the Rat Man. Like some people who don't even know who the Rat Man is, the guy who's scribbling all those things when you go outside of the bounds of the test chambers and stuff like that. Like, there's so much lore to it, but then they added a story, which is usually something that's really bad when you try to change the formula. But they took the risk, and Valve is really good at taking risks, and they made something really nice. I say that, but Half-Life 3 hasn't come out.
Ooh, it's because it's coming out on their VR console, bro. Blah 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 blah. God.
Oh, didn't you hear? It came out on April 1st, and Honest Trailers made Half-Life 3 trailer.
Oh, really? Did they? I feel like that's too easy of an April Fool's
joke. They did a couple good jokes in there. A couple good jokes in there were so it totally was easy, but they made it funny.
Okay. All right.
So
fair enough.
So that's good. I think this games I can throw in here, but that's from the top of my head. Oh, yawning.
Yeah, I don't know where that came from.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where that came from. I'm so embarrassed. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Oh, sarcasm. Anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the show. And thank you for watching VisualWood this week, and do all the stuff that helps us grow.
The many things, yeah.
Yeah.
Grow us, please. Grow us. Plant us like seeds in your garden, and watch us flourish.
I think the only reason. I mean, all right, anyways.
What?
Nothing. We'll see you guys later.
Bye.